Hello everyone, so today we'll be doing the first ever Marketplace tutorial that I was done. So, first you need to go and download the program. So, first you need to go and download the program. So you go and search the web, that it's called Algodo, and you do A-L, and then you do G-O-D-O-O. And now you get here to the Algodo app, and then you do here, and you can do download for free, and then you can do download for iPad, Mac, free downloads, and then you download for whatever you have, and then you open the program, and you get this green world. And first, what you will want to do, you can choose a new scene, and there's autumn, the regular one, which is called default, black, blueprint, chalkboard, dark, grayscale, scale, ice, light gray, optics, pastel, sunset, and sweet, white, and x-ray. So I suggest you either choose default or autumn because they kind of look the same. And here you open the world, and the first tool that we are going to be learning about today is the box tool. So it's right next to a circle, and it's like a box or a square, and then here you can make it depending on however big you want. And you can make it, and then this here is called the simulation, where you pause, and this is the one that I mostly do the marble laces on, and then each time it's like you can drop it down, and then this is the zoom tool. I don't really use the zoom tool because I use the mouse button and I zoom in and out, but you can use it. And then the next tool is the knife tool. So the knife tool is in the top right corner of your baby box right here, and you can make shapes in it, and depending on whatever shape you want. And then you can make other boxes and put it in. Maybe like if you ever want to make something, I don't know, like maybe you want to make something that hibernates, well, you should use the knife tool. And if you ever want to make it straight, you just have to go back with using the undo button, and there's also a forward button which goes forward on what you did, and then all you have to do is hold shift, and then you keep on holding shift on however big you want, and you get like a straight hole. And this next tool is a marble tool. You can make marbles, and these are one of our important things. You can even make them big. And your next tool that we will be learning is the drag tool. The drag tool, you can drag things around, and there's the settings on how much you want them. And if you ever want to do shift, no matter what, this time, even though there's shift won't cause any effect to it. And this tool is the gear tool. So the gear tool isn't really used in marble races. Well, I use it quite a bit, but if you usually if you watch marble races, it won't be that common to do it, and you can make marble races like that. And then your next tool is the eraser tool. So using this tool, you can make holes, and again, shift makes straight lines in it. So if you ever want to make something using the eraser tool, well, this will be one of your favorite tools. So you can kind of have it like this. And then your next tool is this tool. it's not really useful. It's just like if you ever want to erase it, you can erase it just by dragging on it. And there's no really purpose for it except for erasing things fast. Now the next tool is commonly used. It's the scale tool. You can make it be, and if you hold shift, no matter what, it'll stay the same shape, but it only shift if you shift doesn't work if you want to make it bigger. It only works in corners, and it'll make it bigger no matter what. It'll make it like more wide, and then you can just make it however you want. But see, like I'm holding shift and it doesn't work, so even if you do it, it'll just go back, but that's okay. So your next tool is the brush tool. This one you can make like your very own, like here, and you do shift for straight lines again. So I can, if I want to make a star, I can make a star. So as you can see, I'm making the star now because the shift tool, or using this, you can make it something like using shift is very cool in Marble Races because it lets you cut things straight. And your next one is the rotate tool. Now I almost always use this if I want to make like ramps for Marble Races, and then you can just rotate it around and have some fun in it. And then your next one is the move tool. I almost always use this one if I want to move a marble, like let's say it fell out of the map, or the drag tool. And this is the coloring tool, and it'll let you color of whatever shape you desire, and all you have to do is hold shift, and then this is you have to first make it fall, and then it'll just kind of go. Like it could go, it doesn't really come down, it's kind of like gravity, but first you have to move it. So I don't suggest you really use it, because only if you do like a territory wars, you have to, or like anything using floaty things, like maybe gravity pads. I will show you how to do it. And here you can do a rope, which is like this, and like you can, it's kind of like a rope, like, and you can also do chains, and you can do it however thickness you want, or like how much you want it, and you can also do chains. So I don't actually know, I never really used rope before, so, but you can still use it, so that is that. And then this tool is almost never used. It's the angle tool, and you can like space it out a lot and do it like, and then this is the figment that connects it together. So now even if I put it up here, no matter what, it won't move because a figment is holding it. And then this is the tracer. I always use the tracer of marbles, so I will be showing you actually how to make marbles today, just marbles, and then another time I'll be showing you like all the other tutorials. Maybe next tutorial will be the ball tutorial. So those are all the things, but let's say you want something a different color. That's when you have to double click it, and then you can go to, if you liquefy it, it'll be completely liquidy. And one thing that you can do is make like, maybe you can make a ball, and then you just do liquefy, and you can also clone it by pressing the clone button. And if you mirror it, like if I want to mirror it, so if I make a circle and I mirror, do you see this like little kind of like pizza shape? I'll be able to mirror it, and the pizza shape will go on the other side because you're mirroring it. And same with, and then if you press backspace, it erases it. And then you can also press it here, and then let's liquefy it. You can also spongify it, which makes it completely like spongy, and like it's very like I don't know how to say it, but it's like very squishy. And then here it's the liquefied pool, which I actually have some of these in the Ultra Soft one that I'm making. And I didn't done yet, and I actually did the final event, but I'm not gonna tell you it now. So this tool is the spring tool. The same thing. The spring tool is able to have it spring. So I think that that's very cool. This is the grid tool where you can make, like, if you want to make it perfectly straight, then use the grid, and like it doesn't let you make it, like, if you want to make it a little shorter, like, if I want to make it like a little shorter, I can't because I'm using the grid. And then you just have to click it again and it turns it off. And then next, its selection is you can select it to back. So if I pause it and since this is in the front and I don't want it to be the front, I do selection and select to back, and then you can do rotate everything, select, alike, follow, and if you follow them, that means that it'll, like, whatever the block does, it'll move it, and you can just do selection. And if you want to change the color, this is what you do. So if you want like a cyan color, a blue color, or any color, you can just change it. And then here, if you don't, draw borders looks kind of nice. So I mean, with no borders, it looks kind of nice, but like it doesn't look so messy. But you can keep it as draw borders. And then this one is an axle, and this one kind of glues it. And it's just that and then if you go to motor, then you could do it like this, and then this is how I make all the spinners. And you have to make the appearance to 0 if you don't want it to show. So that's one purpose of axles. And another purpose is that if you ever want to follow the material, then you do friction. Friction makes it, that's how you make the balls, so that they don't get stuck with each other. Friction makes it slide a lot, and infinite friction, it's kind of like heavy. So friction, like, it takes a long time for it to move. However, infinite friction doesn't. And restitution is a tutorial for the trampolines. You can bounce it, it'll bounce more. So as you can see, it bounces a little more. And all you have to do is change it. And that is it for the material. And then this is the polygon, and your speed you can make it like whatever speed you want, and each time, like, you can kind of play around with the velocities. And the information, you don't really have to look at this, it just tells you like the area, mass, moment of inertia, position, velocity, angular velocity, momentum, and all of the other stuff. The collision layers is if you want it to be. So if I want it just to be collision layers E, when I spawn in a mobile, it'll always have just collision layers A. It won't collide with it because it has a different collision layer. And even if I make the collision layers with A and E, it'll still collide because the mobile has collision layers A. So I usually use collision layers if I don't want them to collide with each other. And geometry actions, if you can add a center axle, a thruster. If you want to add a thruster, all you have to do is, thrusters I don't really think work on blocks very well, and then here you can add the tracer again, and you also have the thruster, everything that you want to do there except for gearify. Gearify is kind of like you turn it into a gear of how it would be in a gear, but if you use it with blocks or any other things, it won't work very well. And if you do attach thruster, no matter where this will go, it'll go. And if the force is going, like, it'll go like very fast. So I suggest that you shouldn't use it because I never used it in marble racing before. And the last one is combine shapes and controller. Controller will be another tutorial that we will do because it's kind of hard. So the combined shapes you can either do add, makes it be like you can add this complete shape, And if you want to make a hole in it, you do subtract, and you get like a hole in it. And if you do insert, it pretty much just erases the whole thing. And if you do cut, it'll make like a very own shape of it when you do cut, and you can get your own shape. So I think I usually use subtract most. So that's it for the tutorial. And oh, one more thing. This we learned if you ever want to save it, you can type any name, and whatever you do, when you save it, it'll go to mine Caesars and save as VVVVV. So because that's how I did it. And then this is where all your scenes are kept. And then this is where everything like the featured stuff of. So these are the sprites, and then the miscs, and this one is really cool. Like it's really spongy because you use the sponge 5 for it. And then here you can also go to optics. Optics is like the prism. The prism is cool. And anything that you ever want. Well, I think you have to get them. And here it gives you lessons, like if you want to. And if you ever want to make an Algobox account, I actually have my own scenes. So I have these ones. The latest one was part 92. So if you ever want to use it, you can use it, because part 92 is, this one keeps all the scores, and that you might have remembered this from Marble Tournament 1 if you watched it. And then here I have some elevators, and here I have the scores, 1 and 2. And I'll be doing tutorials on all of these. And now I can just go back to the scene and go back, and I keep everything in progress. So this is it for the tutorial, and I will see you guys next time on the tutorial. So bye.